Hey, this is Dr. Wanda J. Evans-Brewer and
Gia.
Boo. So this is talk number. This is
No,
4.
no. This is talk number 5.
I think it's 4.
No, we passed 4. Remember?
No,
Four
I
was,
don't.
4 was
Mm.
4 was the medicine.
I don't think so. But whatever.
Yeah.
We're continuing on this conversation because me and her will go back and forth. What you need to know is Gia is my last baby. She's my best friend and my nemesis. Can't live with her, can't live without her. So we were talking about what we're going to pick up at. Let's talk about a few of our favorite things. Let's talk about some of the stuff that we just kind of learned.
Yes.
That was that we've carried back from Ghana.
Oh yeah, we have a lot in store for you guys.
So we both did some different stuff. So I know I was really excited about the fiber that's used. You don't use all of this. You would break a certain section. You use this to bathe with too, right?
I haven't used it to bathe with.
Okay, because this is like I think banana fiber. One is banana fiber. The other I think is coconut fiber. But you use this, you would take this and you would lather with it. Not this big, you just take a portion of it. I got a whole bag of it to split up. But you use it and you would scrub it on your skin. You put your soap and you scrub it just like you normally would. And what happens is the fiber assists with exfoliation, but because it is a natural fiber, it also is good to the skin. So it does it has its own healing properties to the skin. So I really enjoyed this. Specifically because you have times where you're itching, where you have dead skin, and after you bathe with this and then you use the shea butter. Show them my big old jar of shea butter.
Big shea butter.
Yeah, I brought a big thing of shea butter. You can get these big things of shea butter. You can, your skin just feels really, really good. And so this is all natural stuff. When you go to the market, you can find it and buy it. And my understanding is you can use it for like 7 to 10 days and then you should replace. My husband was a little bit more thrifty, and he continued to use his. He makes sure he used his till it like almost died, even though it's dead. So that's that fiber. Tell us about yours.
Okay, so mine is you can use this to brush your teeth with.
And how do you do that?
You just take a simple little piece off, like how Mom said about
break.
You just break a little piece off. And you put it in your mouth and you chew. But the one thing about the chewing, you're not supposed to swallow the water, because the water that comes out of it, you're supposed to spit it out and keep on chewing. And then at a certain point when it gets soft enough for you, you take it out of your mouth and you just go all around your teeth and scrub.
So you actually used this to brush your teeth with when you were in Ghana?
Because I went over to my cousin's place and they said that they had one and I wanted to try it. So I just began to chew it. But one thing about this, it is bitter.
Oh, it is bitter. Mm-hmm. So that's probably, with the bitterness, it probably has some healing properties for your gums too.
Yeah, but the bitter is not real strong like a bitter drink or stuff like that. It's just this little
bad taste.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you, when you use that, because like with this you add salt. With that, do you add toothpaste or you just use that as the brushing agent?
It's just, add any toothpaste. You don't use your brush. You don't do any of that. You just chew.
So what happens in terms of mouth odor? Are you okay, or what happens with that?
Yeah, it lasts a lot, but you have to, like, if you feel lazy, you don't feel like taking your toothpaste and putting on the brush and begin to brush. You can use this, but you'll have to go around with a couple of, at least like a couple of hours or at least a half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You just begin to chew when water comes out.
So you have to chew it longer,
mm-hmm.
and do you break off more pieces or is it the same piece?
Same piece. Chew, and then spit out the water and keep on chewing.
Wow, and you felt like your teeth were clean from that process?
Yes.
Wow. And how many people did you see brushing their teeth that way?
I saw my cousin Susie, and I saw...
She has nice teeth.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, she has nice teeth.
And
Okay.
I also saw my cousin Grace doing it.
So that says that there are more ways to do
To-
hygienic practices than just the standard stuff that we know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now Howard made this for me. I didn't brush my teeth with that. I didn't get to the fiber, but I did start using the Moranga Charcoal. So with this, you use your toothbrush. You just wet the toothbrush. You stick in and you pick up some and you brush. And and when I went to, and it's just charcoal. They took a piece of bark, they burned it, and then when it got to the charcoal part, they did the little process of refining it, and then they gave me a bag of it. So it would look like this if you got a bag of it.
Okay.
Like this. Okay. So they gave me a bigger bag of it. In any case, I ended up loving it. So I do still I will occasionally use toothpaste. And it's usually when I just don't feel like seeing the black on my toothbrush, although it rinses off fine. Sometimes you're just not in the mood for that. Or if I want a mint, I want to have a mint flavor in my mouth. But what was beautiful about the charcoal was that I went to Ghana with a toothache. Just a little bit. I had gone to the dentist, and there was just a little bit of achiness where sometimes the dentist, they go too far, and so you just kind of be, where they've cleaned your teeth, and you just kind of sore there. And then I have a filling in the back that has begun to collapse. Now they've replaced this filling twice, and to tell you the truth, it's just a terrible dentist. Okay, we don't have the best medical care here, so the dentist it's what it is. Okay, but the filling was collapsing, so that means the tooth was getting sensitive because when you put pressure, it would ache. So I never talked about it. It's just something that you deal with. You start, negotiating with yourself to chew on the other side, or don't eat don't eat things that cause pressure. So I started brushing my teeth with the Moranga Charcoal. And what happened was the pain went away.
It soothed.
No, it's gone. I haven't had any. It took about, I want to say about 3 brushings, and I went to eat something and was able to crunch, and I was fine because those plantain chips are hard, and it was time for me to come down on it to give that pressure, and it was fine. So some of the other things that they say about the charcoal is it reduces internal gas and bloating. They'll take a little bit of it and mix it into some water and drink it. It treats hangovers and poisoning. And one of the big things is it helps with oral health. It lowers cholesterol. It hines all the skin if it's dirty, and then it's good for whitening. Lots of people use charcoal for whitening, for strengthening gums, and to control mouth odor. So it's a lot going on with the charcoal so no, I didn't get to the coconut fiber, but I did get to, I'm sorry, but don't worry about it, but I did get to the charcoals, and all of this was amazing stuff.
Okay, I have one question for you about the charcoal.
Yeah.
The charcoal for the odor, does the smell of the charcoal, can you smell it at all?
The charcoal has no smell.
Really?
The biggest drawback with the charcoal is that your toothbrush for a moment is going to look ugly.
Yeah.
It has no smell. And it has a beautiful texture to it. I mean, it's refined. It's nothing going on with it. So, but it has no smell. And your mouth is fresh. It's not like, it's a neutral scent because it's not like it's mint or spearmint or anything like that. It's neutral, but your mouth is fresh. So I love these. That's one of my, when I say favorite things, this is one of my favorite things. Up until discovering the charcoal, the only method I had for dealing with tooth pain was clove oil or clove. I would put a clove there, but I really have not been a person that suffered from a lot of tooth pain because I'm pretty diligent about seeing about my teeth. But in this situation, I was overseas and it was over with. I just had to deal with it. So that's exciting. Those are 2 of our favorite things. Okay.
Yes.
What else you want to talk about?
Okay. Can we get to the Alonza?
Talk to me about the Alonza, because we was talking about food as medicine. And Gia began to tell me about the Alonza fruit, and it looks like a little small orange, but
it is, okay, first, it is a star apple. So it is similar to an apple, but it
I saw no apple similarities whatsoever.
but
It looks
they
like
call
an
it
orange.
like that.
Yeah, they do call it that. They call it a star apple, but it don't look like no apple.
It's a star. It like inside you can just take it, like cut the top, and it is shaped of a star.
You know what? You're right.
Yes.
There is a star. There is a star symbol inside of there, isn't it?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
So it is a star apple. That's
Okay.
what they call it. But
Listen, and there is an apple part. The apple part, not that it looks like our apple, but that you can eat the skin and the meat
yes.
like an apple. Because with an orange, we don't usually eat the orange casing. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So about this Alonza seed, you crack it open with your teeth. You just bite the two sides and it splits. So you take the white piece inside of it, and this medicine, it helps for headaches, like if you're having head problems and stuff like that. You just take the seed, crack it open. And how do I know this is a real thing? Because my friend, she was sick and she had a real bad headache. And I told her to go buy an Alonza star apple.
How did you know to tell her that?
I knew because one of my friends at a school called Odor, she told me that, she's a teacher by the way, she told me that the Alonza seed, inside of it, it is a medicine for headaches.
Okay.
So I told my friend and she went and bought it and we cracked the seed open and I told her it is very bitter, by the way. It's not sweet.
Okay.
So even though you might be thinking, oh, it's just the seed, it's going to be sweet because of the Alonza. No, it is very bitter.
And I'm learning, and I have learned really from Ghana, that a lot of things that's bitter are just simply better for you. They're good for you.
So, yeah, if you have headaches or if you experienced it, you should, if you ever are in Ghana, you should get an Alonza.
You know what's funny to me is how many of the Ghanaian people just kind of know something about medicine, like just herbal medicine. Because Eric, my husband's friend, he saw it. But I have these flesh molds. They're pretty common to black folk. And then I have this other mole that showed up. And when he met me, he really didn't know me. But he said, he looked at it and he said, you need to take a colonic, like you need to cleanse yourself. This mole is on your face. It comes from piles, Piles, piles. And so piles is a result of constipation. And so I was in shock. So at the time when he said it, and the reason I got in shock is that I know I'm a constipator. So when he said this one was there because of piles, and this guy is no doctor. He's just any Ghanaian guy. And so I'm listening to him. I said, "What? Look at this guy walk up and just look at my face and diagnose my face." So I did a little bit of further research, and it turned out, like actually he knew his stuff. He was right. And part of what I've been getting from drinking my bitters is that it's been shrinking because my digestive tract has been getting healthy.
That.
Yeah, it's shrinking.
Before it was like a little bit, tad bit bitter.
It was a tad bit bitter, yeah. So let's see. We're going to keep track of this and see where it goes now. I'm one of them people that just like to be comfortable with myself. I really don't like to do all this stuff. So I just saw it as like, a sexy mole. I said, okay, well, I got it. I'm just telling you how I didn't try to cover it with makeup or anything. I just said, well, that's another little sexy spot on my face. I left it alone. But now I know it's from piles. I'm like, get out of here. Okay, so lots of medicine, lots of little nuanced things you learn about medicine along the way, and you have to be sensitive to listening to it, though.
Yes.
You do have to be willing to try it. Was it anything they ever asked you to try where you was just like, no?
Well, the Alonza seed, I did turn it down. I would not put that. I even tricked my teacher, my French teacher. I told him, yeah, this is a piece of candy. He put it in his mouth. He went some, he spit it out.
Yeah, he was playing with you. He knew what it was. So we've been talking. We've been home over a month and a half now.
Yeah.
And what is a big reflection? What is something that you thought about and you said, wow, I really have empathy for them?
Can we talk about the timing of school?
Okay, let's talk about the timing of school. What time did you have to get up for school?
Okay. I believe this is kind of harsh because I came from America, so we wake up at a certain time. That is like 7. For me, here in America, I have to wake up at 7, and I have to be there by 8 because they close the doors.
Not quite true. You wake up at about 7:30.
Yeah.
And you have to be at school about 8:35.
Yes.
But even when I wake you up at 7:30, you don't physically get out the bed to about 7:45. Then by 7:45, you're rough, you in the bathroom. Then you sit there and look crazy until about 8:10. Then you scramble to get out the door by 8:35. Go.
Okay, but for Ghanaians, they wake up necessarily. They have to get up earlier.
Like what time?
They have to wake up at 4.
Are you exaggerating? Is it 4 or is it 5?
No.
Is it does the cock crow? Because the cock sets the tone for everything there. Once that cock crows, you know you're going to hear some woman outside sweeping. And
yes.
you know the day has started.
By the way, the where we were staying, there was not that much cocks. There was only like chickens and roosters and
I know them goaty goats was over there.
And those goats.
Okay. Well, I mean, but it's still, in general, the tone is set by the at least for me, the tone. I always think once I hear the crow, once I hear that cock-a-doodle-doo, I know the day is starting.
Yeah, and by the way, the hens, they're very protective of their chicks.
Why would you bothering their chicks?
No, because one time me and my cousin, we were going, and she saw one of the chicks. She picked him up, and that thing flapped out his wings and picked up his face and was running after me and her. We ran across the corner, and she didn't chase us no more. Because when you get chased and you get hit by a hen, it'll start picking at you, pecking and stuff like that.
She ain't no business messing with that thing's baby. That's all. Mamas love their babies. I don't care what it is. Baby alligator, they love it. Yeah.
Anyway.
So early up in the morning, you have to get up. You say 4. I believe it was probably 5.
No, 5. You're late.
What time do you have to be at school?
You have to be at school at least 5. But if you go across like a certain number and you get to 6, you're late. And if you get to 7, but for 6, you're in trouble, but they'll think about it. But if you get to 7, you're so late, they're going to cane you.
Okay, so tardiness gets dealt with by caning.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is horrible.
And you have empathy for them. Why?
Because you don't want to wake up and then be late, and then for your punishment, you get a beat down. Who wants that? When you wake up early, for them, they have to wake up extra early. My cousin, she had to wake up extra early, at least by 3, so she can go and do her chores.
And what did her chores consist of?
Sweeping, washing, cooking.
Okay, so she had to get up. And how old was she?
12.
Okay, so why didn't you get up early and help her sweep, wash, and cook? Or did you ever do it?
For me, I wasn't used to that, so I always wake up at 4, and probably by then I'll probably get there at least. I would not always get there by 5. Sometimes I'll go the crossover.
Sometimes
and get to 6.
you made Susie late
Yes.
because Gia has always hugged the pillow, and the pillow always hugs Gia back. So she took those same sleepy practices to Africa and was struggling to get up. And everybody knows that she is a sleepyhead. Now, once she up, she's okay, but getting her up
is a different story.
it's there. I love the story when Susie pinched you.
No, see,
She said she
she
said you didn't like it, but I was glad she did it.
Look, I was sleeping, and she told me, "Jay, get up." I said, "No, Jay, get up. Jay, get up." And then she said, "If you don't get up, I'm gonna pinch you." And then she finally pinched me. That pinch went through my skin. That was so painful.
It sounds horrible, but I love it because one thing I do like about Africa is that you get these immediate consequences that help shape behavior fast.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really get to go into a series of weeks of bad behavior. There's a response to correct it immediately. So
They nip it in the bud.
yeah, they nip it in the bud, and so you meet a lot of well-behaving kids because of that. I'm not saying that people don't act out; they don't have their personalities. I'm just saying in general, you meet very disciplined people. So, okay, tell me what else.
Okay, so we talked.
Oh, and let me add something.
Okay.
Let me add something else. Okay, so I am impressed with the level of responsibilities that children have and how they step up to the plate and manage those responsibilities. Now, that's not my wish for them, to have such great chores and responsibilities. But on the other hand, there's a maturity in them that I personally enjoy. So when I go to the continent, it's an honor for me to give them sweet treats, to take them treats and technology and dials and things like that, to give them just a pinch of joy. Not that they don't have it, because there's a misconception that because you got up early and you have all these chores, you don't have joy in your day. They do. They have all kinds of fun games and song and dance and things that they do that's fun. But in terms of my response to that, I never have a problem just being kind to them. Yeah, I know their days get long.
Yeah, their days do get long because if you don't do homework, cane. If you are late, cane. If you
What is cane?
Caning is spanking. You get struck.
Oh.
Yeah.
If you not looking at the board, if you sleep, cane.
Okay, everything
It's
is
always-
beat your butt. Beat
Yes.
your butt. Beat your butt. Beat your butt.
Cane
Beat your
is
butt.
always,
Beat your
and
butt.
each time you misbehave, the cane gets longer and longer, and especially the principals, they have the
Okay, well,
longest.
here's my answer to that.
Has she ever got cane?
Yeah, she's gotten caned. And in fact, when I went to the school, I told them to make sure that they caned her. That she was no better than any other child in that building, because she's a child. She's going to do the same things that, So the thing is, we had corporal punishment when I was in school. I went to school in Detroit, Michigan. When I was going to school, they paddled, okay? And first of all...
What was it, though?
What?
The paddle. What?
It was a big old giant paddle with holes in it. So when they swiped, some butt meat went up in them holes.
In that hole, it gave a suction.
They gave, it's suction. So,
Ugh.
but here's the ticket to it all. First of all, you don't die from it. Let's get that straight. There's always people that abuse it, who go too far, who hit too hard, and that has to be dealt with. But in general, most of us don't die from it. It does and deter certain behavior and correct others, because the whole point of hitting is punishment, is to say, I don't want to see this behavior again. Okay, that's one. But the final thing is, I looked at the other children and I said, oh, he got paddled for that. Guess who's not going to do that?
You.
Yeah. So it's a easy way not to get caned, not to get paddled. Don't do the things that cause the adult to want to discipline you that way. Most times.
Did you get paddled before, though?
Yeah, I got paddled before. I remember being in kindergarten. We was all in the little circle, singing the song. And the girl, one of my friends, she reached over and hit me on the thigh.
Ooh.
And the teacher didn't see it. And I reached back and hit her on the thigh. And they didn't allow hitting.
Mm-hmm.
And so the answer to hitting was they hit me. They called me up. And I had to and this was a little ruler. Because what you said is true. When you was in kindergarten, It was the ruler. It was small. You got to middle school, it was a big old giant paddle. So yeah, I remember that. And then I was mad at the girl because it's like, you got me paddled. Like you hit me, I hit you back, and I got in trouble. So then I learned like don't play, because what happened was we were playing when we should have been focused on what the teacher was asking us to do. So that discouraged me from playing. Yeah, I've been paddled.
So sad.
No, it's not. I mean, but okay, but you come back to America. You see in these classrooms, you've complained in your own classroom where a person's behavior keeps going on and on and on and on, and the teacher is stressed out and they can't stop it. Then they call the home, they call them the school, they talking to the principal, and the behavior continues.
Well, for me, I have had like one of those problems that you have when you're little, where you got in trouble by another girl's behavior.
Okay, did that happen in Ghana? Did you get when you got caned in Ghana? What they caned you for? That's what I want to know.
Sleeping. Didn't we talk about this?
Yes, we did. And this every time I hear it, I want to hug the adult that caned you. Who are you to call yourself going to sleep in a classroom?
It was by accident.
No. Let
Let
me explain the accident to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an accident. You're walking on the stairs and you slip and you fall. Okay? That's an accident. Falling asleep in your classroom, that's not an accident.
It's an accident because you wake up early. Would you, if you were a kid, would you like to wake up at 3 or 4? Would you like that?
Listen, when I gave birth to you, I was teaching several classes and I was working at multiple universities. And I was waking up early because I had to breastfeed you, I had to change your diaper, I had to do a bunch of stuff with you. When I got into those course rooms, I was woke. You're not going to get me to fold on this. And it's, one thing about my daughter that's like, she doesn't get, her mother is an educator. Like, she has no leeway. Like, we're never going to be comrades in this. You're just wrong.
Okay.
All right. All right, well, let's wrap up.
Yeah, no, hold on.
No, we're just getting to our wrap-up story. Okay, so what is the last thing you want to share with this session 4 or 5? I say 4, she says 5.
We're going to go. This is very weird, but kind of gross. This is called the refuse dump.
The refuse dump. So what is the refuse dump?
The refuse dump is more like how the garbage men come and take the garbage cans and go to.
Okay, so this is a refuse dump. So this is where you take garbage.
Yes.
Okay.
So, what they do is they take the trash that's outside from their homes. They walk to a far area where it is normally near the beach.
So you don't have anybody to come and collect it. They have to walk their garbage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they walk and do it, and when you go to the refuse dump, mostly what you'll see is pigs, goats, and trash. And especially the trash lays on the beach sand and it gets all in it, and the pigs come and eat the banana peels and stuff like that.
Okay. Like the goats. The goats eat them. Yeah.
And the trash flows down into the water and drifts away.
Okay.
But
you went to the refuse to the refuse dump?
I went to the refuse dump. Now I can even go by myself.
Can you?
Yes, because they taught me the way.
Okay.
Anyways, I don't like going to the refuse dump. It smells over there. I don't like the pigs. And those pigs...
Why are you picking on the pigs?
The pigs were huge.
Were they?
Yes. They were bigger than me and you.
I've only seen... I didn't see any pigs in Ghana. It was a goat that I said was Isaac's girlfriend. That tall black goat. Maleficent. Yeah, that was, the most. But I didn't see any pigs. So the pigs are ginormous. They're at the refuse dump. They're eating. They're helping out. So what is it?
They're kind of, because I've never seen an animal up close that big. And then they, especially like the dads and the mothers, They're so huge. They were as the size of me.
The pigs?
Yes.
They're not interested in you though.
Yes, but I don't like when they come up close and behind me to go get something, because I believe like they're gonna headbutt me and then come and grab me. I don't like
the imagination of children.
Anyways,
animals free roam in Africa. They don't really obsess with people like that.
I know, but I'm scared of them because I've never experienced a pig like that.
Okay, so you went to the refugee dump. You got to the point where they were confident sending you on your own. Mm-hmm. You wanted to go on your own, and so you said it was weird. So the weird is the pigs and the what's the weird part of it?
The weird part of it is it's like a sewers dump. Like they have a big pipe or a big road that just leads into the ocean, like
the Atlantic Ocean.
Yes.
Wow.
It leads into like the beach.
A water thing, a water source. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's just like the sewers. It goes through any pipes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And what comes out is your pee and stuff like that, and
waste,
trash, and it over, and like sometimes even they're not supposed to, but sometimes even bad stuff comes through there. Okay. And it's just, ugh. It's not.
Well, so you experienced it. What do you suggest they do? Like you went to the refuse dump, and so I like the idea that the animals eat certain parts of it. What do you want to see happen with that? Do you see the purpose of it, or
I don't see the purpose.
What do you want them to do?
And also, one more thing.
Okay.
Sometimes they come to the refuse dump with big long canes, like how they do in the schools, or big wood to come and beat their children.
What are they beating their children for? Because they don't want them there?
No, they don't want them there. And sometimes the children misbehave and swim in it. And after they swim in it, sometimes they could drown in it.
Yeah, so it's not that they're going there to beat them. They're going there because they're worried about them. And so they're trying to protect them. They see that it's not hygienic, it's not safe. And then the children are being disobedient. They're not just dumping off the refuge. They actually are getting excited about the water itself and not understanding that the water's not sanitary. It's not safe.
No, the water comes through the pipes, but the water they're going into is the water from the pipes, the refuge stuff. It dumps into the ocean.
Yeah, they don't want them in it, Gia Boo.
Yes.
Did you get your butt in it?
No!
Oh, thank the Lord. Thank you.
You know I ain't never one day in my life going through that.
It's not that I think you swam, because I know you. But I wouldn't put my toe.
No.
Okay.
No. I couldn't even imagine myself.
Well, you know when you started this story, you said you speak of it with pride that you got the responsibility of being able to go on your own. What made them know, or where did you get where in this whole experience with your sister mom did you finally get the rites of passage where you could go to the refuse dump yourself?
Actually, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
For them to know that I can go by myself is direction. I can find the direction. This place.
Did they tell you to go, or did you just on your own go?
I would go sometimes by myself.
Did they know you was going?
Yes, they always knew. So I would sometimes even Susie, she'll ask me, Gia, go to the refugee dump, or Gia, go with Priscilla and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we would go, and sometimes I'll go, and Priscilla, she'd be so annoyed. She sometimes called the pigs, like she faked like she's calling the pigs on me, and I'd be just crazy. I don't want that thing near me.
Priscilla's smart. She decided to torture you a little bit.
I don't like her torture.
Girl, ain't nothing like sibling kid torture. It's exciting. I lived through it and I dished it and I took it. So that's just kid turf. All right, so you survived the refuse dump, but you do understand why it's there.
I wish that the refuse dump would not.
I understand you wish it would not be there, but do you understand why it's there?
I understand why it's there.
That's a broke down part of Ghana. They have to work on what to do with waste.
Like you can't. Like, what if a year where it just gets so much where they can't even dump it no more?
Well, I don't know, but I know they had a year where they had dumped so much waste on the ground, and then there was rain, and they had flooding.
Yes. So about that, they have. I forgot what this is called. They have sort of to a sewer. They have little patches open, and it's like a road of streaming waste. It's supposed to be just liquid, but sometimes the children be naughty and dump stuff and throw stuff and gum and stuff like that inside. And what it does is when it rains, all that nasty stuff floods up and it comes into a flood, which that shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen. Now, what do we do to solve that?
That I have no clue.
Okay, because you remember Michael Nyorko. I came to know him because he is a part of an organization that they go around as volunteers and clean. So that's cool that there's an organization and they do that. But what if every adult in the square footage of where they live came out, just like the women come out and sweep, what if they cleaned up that stuff?
Actually, they have started doing that. But what they do is they see all this nasty trash, and they have even done it on the way to Bristol School when I would go for her studies.
Okay.
They will